All right. Good afternoon. Sorry. Good afternoon again, everyone. Thank you for joining this webinar with ISEF. This is the Big Brother and Big Sister mentoring. So for those who are just learning about ISEF for the first time, my name is Ayatola Olarinwaju. I'm the program manager at ISEF. And okay, sorry, what's going on? Just a moment. Okay, sure thing. I've got that covered. All right, so my name is Ayatola Olarinwaju. I'm the program manager at ISEF, Innocent Chukwemeka Chukwuma Empowerment Foundation. And like I said, for those who are just finding out what ISEF is, maybe through this flyer or at another event, it's a family foundation set up in memory of the man so named by his wife and three daughters. At ISEF, we have about 5 program areas, and one of those program areas is the Big Brothers and Big Sisters mentoring. And this is because one of the core for Mr. Innocent while he was alive is impacting young people. As a matter of fact, during one of the events we had in his honor recently, a few people testified to the fact that you never leave the same way you met him, that every single time he meets you, he endeavors to teach you something new, to just give you a new perspective to life. And that is exactly why we have mentoring as one of the program areas at ISEF. Here we understand the meaning and the impact of encouraging people, of inspiring them, of just basically showing them the road. Because I mean, who else will show you if someone else doesn't? Someone would definitely show you the path to toe and just give you a new perspective to life. And that could also impact how you impact others as well. That being said, today we have the mentoring session monthly. So, and that spans different topics. And we have experienced mentors who come to share their knowledge on subject areas. Today's topic is on fundraising. I know that we all have several goals in life, things we want to achieve, probably a passion project, or just your career. And we think that we can't do it because I don't have the funds for it. I heard something interesting recently where a man once said, plan for your dreams and your goals like money is not a problem. But I know that in this part of town, we're like, what do you mean by money is not a problem? Money is definitely a concern, and I have to think about it. But really, it just allows you to be creative. It allows you to think outside the box and just go for it. Now, when you now plan for that project, like money is not a concern, now how do you get that money? This is where the nuggets and the tips that our speaker today will be sharing will come in handy. We have a fantastic speaker who has prepared, and not just prepared, but has gone through experiences that allows her to be certified to share this with us. Now, who is this person that I speak of? To share with us today, give me a moment to pull up our bio. Okay. To share with us today is a person who's passionate about using communication, social impact, and entrepreneurship to create meaningful change. She has worked on high-profile projects as a communication specialist, helping organizations tell their stories, engage stakeholders, and build strong brands. Beyond communications, she's deeply involved in community development and social justice. As a climate reality leader, she educates and mobilizes people to take action on climate change. She also co-founded the Startup Knowledge Development Foundation, SKDF, a platform that supports young entrepreneurs by providing mentorship, resources, and business development training. Akumishi is also an author, a thought leader, and a fellow at the Innocent Chukwuemeka Chukwuma Social Impact Chair and Fellowship. Our work reflects a commitment to empowering people, fostering innovation, and driving sustainable development. Now, before I welcome Akumishi to take over from me, I would just like to let you know that this session is going to run for maximum of an hour, and she would be speaking with us on funding your vision, how to navigate grants, loans, and crowdfunding. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to drop that in the chat box or just write them somewhere. And after about 30 or 35 minutes of speaking, we would take all your questions. Are we ready? I would not have her come until I see a couple of readies in the chat. Are we ready?
Hi, Hayo. Hi, Hayo.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Hi, Hayo. Thank you. Can I just quickly say something before I run along?
All right. Okay. So before we go into it, I'd like to welcome the executive chair of Innocent Chukwuemeka Chukwuma Empowerment Foundation as no other person than Mr. Innocent's wife, Mrs. Josephine Effa Chukwuma. You can take over, ma.
Thank you very much, everyone. It's a quick one. I am in a meeting, but I just felt I should come out and have a little chat with you all. I don't know, are you seeing me? Are you seeing me?
Yes, clearly, ma.
Okay, the background I'm against, I don't know what it looks like anyway. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here this afternoon to just quickly say one thing as we all about starting this mentoring session. As my colleague Ayo said, this is part of ISEF's 5 program areas, which is our Big Brother and Big Sisters project. Basically, it's about mentoring. And we are saying that as young people, as you're starting your journey, there are big brothers and big sisters who can hold your hands, and guide you on the journey, just as some other people guided us to when we were starting off. So this is going to be a monthly event with various topics, various mentors, um, beautiful young women and men doing great things. I'm sure you'll be so excited about today with the inspiring young lady who is going to be speaking to you all. So I wish you all the best and please make the best of it. Like I just said, especially at this time, if you have any passion, if you're an entrepreneur, you're passionate about something, you want to start something, or you want to start a small school, or you want to start a small business or whatever, if you don't have the funds, it remains in your head. There's nothing else you can do other than just keep dreaming and keep thinking. So when you dream, you find a way of walking your dream and making it come to pass. And funding is very important. So on that note, I wish you all the best, and I'll have to run away now. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. And with that, we would move on into the session. Please welcome our speaker for today, Akumishi Ayana J. Akumishi, I hope I didn't murder that last name. I just wanted to stick with Akumishi.
Oh, no, you did well. You did
Awesome.
really well.
Great. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to pull up your slides.
Thank you. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, since you're talking back, it means you can hear me. I just wanted to confirm that part.
Yes.
Okay, all right, fantastic.
Just a minute.
Sure.
Okay. Good to go. Okay. Can you see that now? This is the best I can share.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Ayo. Again, good morning, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. I am super excited to be here to share with you the little I know about fundraising and also share a little story as to how I was able to raise funding for a project from strangers, people I don't know if I'll ever meet, but they bought into what it is I was doing at the time, and I was able to raise funds for it. I'd love to believe that everyone on the call is either a business person or someone who are about to start a business. Yeah, I'd love to believe that. So I'm just gonna go with that flow. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Great. So, whether you are launching a business, developing a product, or driving social impact, securing the right funding is essential for growth and sustainability. Just as our CEO and founder mentioned, if you do not have money to fund your vision, it literally just stays in your head for the most part up until you're able to support it somehow financially to access funding to help fund your vision. We're just going to go straight into it. Please, if you have any questions as we proceed, you can put them in the chat box or better you could take notes of them, and at the end we'll take questions. Okay. So next slide, please. The first thing we need to do as business owners, people who have ideas that are about to come to life, is to understand the main types of funding that are available to us out there. The first being debt be paid back, and it has an interest on it. Funding, rather, they require some sort of collateral, ownership, and control of your business because they're just taking money. Side is that it is not patience. It is more, you need to extend the loan to the money so that when you pay back, it's a bit higher than what it was. It just keeps growing, right? So it's not debt financing is not necessarily patient. You would have to walk through it to pay it back. The second being equity financing, and this is an investment in exchange for a share of ownership. Say, for instance, I have an idea. Um,
Hi, Akumishi. MTN. I doubt it's MTN. What did MTN do to you people? Akumishi. Oh no. Am I going to have to speak about crowdfunding today? Oh, she's been knocked off. Let's just give her a moment. Hopefully she's able to switch internet and back quickly.
Hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, let me just connect to another.
Yes, that'd be great. Hello, Akumishi.
Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right, fantastic. Hopefully this other Wi-Fi doesn't go off
Hopefully,
again.
fingers
So yeah.
crossed.
So I stopped at saying for the bad side of equity funding is that you don't fully own your company because you have to give a share, you have to give a piece of it to whoever gives you the funding to run operations. And then the interesting one that everybody loves, even I love so much, is freebies. It's free money. You don't need to pay back. The good side is you can also get extras like mentoring, training, exposure, business connections, and networking. But then the bad side is no accountability. So you could get the money and there's no one to hold you accountable to say, hey, what are you doing with the money? How have you grown with the money? So that's essentially what freebies is for them. But then for a lot of people who know what they're doing and know the kind of business or the goals that they have for themselves, business wise, rather, are able to be intentional and grow their business. But we have categorized the funding into three places. So grants, loans, and crowdfunding. We're going to be talking about these three to an extent while highlighting other sources. Oh, is that me? Okay, just confirm that you can hear me still. Someone's mic is on. Okay. Okay. Okay, great. Next slide, please. The first part we're going to be talking about are grants. And grants essentially is money that is given to you, provided by the government, an organization, a foundation, or an individual to support a specific purpose, project, or initiative for free. The next slide highlights the sources, three sources. The next three slides that are going to highlight three sources of grants. The first being charities and foundations. These are monies that are given out by private organizations and charities to support social causes, healthcare, and education. That's kind of like what Tony Elumelu does, either idea stage or startup stage or mature stage. So far, you have something viable that will fly. They provide grants and also provide mentorship and business support to help grow or scale your business. And on the good side is that they are free money, they are driven by philanthropy goals, and they are not for profit. The second good side is that you have a good chance of accessing them, especially if business or project has this potential for social impact. Nowadays, because a lot of organizations, I feel like they don't want to do, most organizations that I've interacted with rather do not want the conventional buy food stuff and just share. People are looking to do stuff that are impactful to people and also to community. So they are looking for nonprofits or individuals that can drive, ideas that are sustainable and also would be of impact to whatever community they are going to implement or the people that are going to be beneficiaries to the project. So I know for a fact that, these are sources that you can get funding for to implement your idea or to scale your business as well. Now, the bad side is that application can be time consuming and tedious. I know that I've also applied for a few, and to be honest, some kind of questions that you read, you're like, waiting with this, I beg. But you still have to answer those questions because you're seeking grants, and you just have to do it so that they also know, what exactly it is that they're providing money for. And then the second bad side is that it's country eligible. Sometimes you want to apply for a grant and you don't see West Africa on the list of people that are eligible to apply for the grant. So that's how charities and foundations sort of structure grants to give out to people. The next slide talks about business plan competitions. So what this essentially is, and I know that at the time I also pitched for one of these, maybe in 2019 thereabout. So what this is startups sending business plans for opportunities rather to pitch and access grants. So your idea as it is, or your startup, which is from 0 to 3 years, as it is, you send in the plan of, the long haul, what it is now and where you're hoping that it will get to. And people get to, organizations, individuals that come together to bring up this funding, they provide the grants to help support your business. Now, the good side is there's no limit in the number of competitions you can apply for. You can apply for as much as you can. So far, they cover your areas of business. The second, the funding is free. You get this funding for free. You don't have to pay back. They are just really great people that are looking to support, businesses and initiatives as well. They give you exposure to the process, even if you don't get the grants. So, say for instance, you scale. I know for the most part, even with the Tony Illumina, there's a platform now, and you get access to trainings. There are resources online on YouTube. If it's in a physical space, they have people come into a hall or a classroom, and they're able to teach them a few tips and tricks rather for businesses to help them grow themselves. And you also get feedback from experts after evaluating your business plan to help you refine for other business plan competitions that you would apply for. Now, on the bad side is applying for and participating can be distracting to your business because, again, this is time consuming, where you have to make sure that your business plan covers all the areas of interest that they would expect you to cover in the plan, and also having to go back and pitch, the whole back and forth. It could really be time consuming, and that could also be a distraction to your business. Some prize awards are not entirely free, so you have to make sure that you read terms and conditions when applying for the grants. Next slide, please. As to how to find and apply for grants. 6 things highlighted. The first, you need to
Hello, Ma.
identify your needs.
Ma, please, can I be done with this?
Okay. Somebody was asking a question?
No, sorry, just carry on. I think someone just had
Okay.
their speaker on. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. That's fine. So, first thing to do, identify your needs. Determine why you need funding and what type of grants aligns with your goals. Not all money is good money. Don't go take money that will swallow you up in the future, not knowing that, hey, this money was actually bad for me. So you need to be very intentional and very careful about reading up on what this money is for, what exactly they are looking to fund. There's no point lying. I'd love to believe that there are so many grants and so many other ways that you can get funding for your business out there that there is no point lying, and just keep applying. You really never know which one would you would get access to. The second, research available grants. I know that there are platforms. There's opportunitydesk.org. There is funding for NGOs. There is opportunity for Africans. These are the three that come to mind, but there are platforms that websites you can visit, and you see a plethora of opportunities available that you can apply for to be able to access grants or freebies, as the case may be. So you research, so explore government websites, foundation directories, grant databases to find relevant opportunities that are tailored to your business or your idea. The third, you check eligibility, review the grant requirements to ensure you meet the criteria before you apply. So you don't just go wasting your time and applying for what does not concern you. You want to be able to maximize time. So you need to know what exactly it is that you're applying for. Prepare a strong proposal. Yes, you need to, yeah, people are going to give you money, but then you need to know exactly what it is you're doing. Your proposal needs to be simple, concise, and clear. I want to be able to read it and know that, oh, this is what this person is looking to do with the money. And once I give him X amount, he'll be able to churn out XYZ in XYZ amount of time as well. So you write a detailed grant proposal outlining your projects, its objectives, the budget, and expected impact. Then you submit your application, follow all application guidelines and submit before the deadline. And then follow up. If, you get an email or you get a call that says, oh, you've crossed over the first stage, we need XYZ to be able to access, to give you more access or to push you forward up the list of the people that will access the grant. Make sure you have everything that you possibly need or you would need in hand, so that as soon as you're being asked for it, you're able to provide it as it goes. Next slide, please. Loans. Loans are financial agreements in which an individual, business, or organization borrows money from a lender with the promise to repay it over time, and typically, for the most part, with interest. They serve as a crucial tool for funding businesses, education, home purchase, and personal expenses. There are a few sources of loans that I have highlighted. In the next slide, please. A few sources of loans highlighted. First being government programs. There are always funding opportunities from the government. You just need to be on the lookout for them. I know that presently there is one going on by the Bank of Industry. It's for business people, and I think it's about 9 million naira. 9 or 10 million naira. And of course, a single digit interest back to them. And there is a settlement rate of about, I think it's about 3 years. I think 3 years, 2 years or 3 years before you start paying back. So there are all of those fundings available by the government. There are some that come from the Smedan window, some from the Bank of Industry window, and also the NERSAL as well, and so many more. Just need to do your research to know which one it is that fits, your business. Now, the good side is it is patient money with less aggressive timelines. It gives you tax breaks and also free access to land. Currently in Abuja, there's a project being run by the Smedan. It's for the fashion designers. So they provided a large hall and provided, there's lights there, there are sewing machines, every other thing that a tailor or a fashion designer would need is in that room, and it's for free. So different people around the city center or around the city of Abuja, they go there and they get to sew their clothes. So there's light, there are all electrical sewing machines. So that is already available. All they need to do is to carry themselves, go there, sew the clothes, and take it back to the people that own it. Access to land. I know a lady that runs a recycling company, and because of the grant she was able to access from Bank of Industry, it also came with land, in the sense that she uses it to collect waste. So that's the space where she picks, and then she sorts there for other people to come buy from her in large quantities. So it could also be, that as a good side that you get from the government programs. Now, on the flip side, you've got bureaucracy and corruption. Sometimes you're seeking grants, and because I know somebody in there, I would pack all my family members and collect grants and collect loans rather, and so use the money for different things instead of allowing people that really need it to go for it. So that's it for government programs. The next sources of loans, and the next slide are banks. And most banks, they don't fund startups because of the risk involved. They would rather work with matured businesses or established businesses that have like a physical space. They have traction and track record of the work they've done, and it's easier for them to get their money back from these people, which is why they would rather work with them. But nowadays, you see banks giving loans here and there. I don't know what the interest rate is, or the duration, but I think that's also what will determine, you taking up the loan, and also the timing for one to pay back. Now, the good side is you retain ownership and control of your business. Should you take a loan from the business, all they are giving you from the bank, rather, all they are giving you is money to pump into your business to grow it. So far, you pay back. They provide large sum of money or funding rather to your business, and it can be a steady source of funding depending on how you did previously. So depending on how the first loan was, they could give you more money, trusting that, you did really well with the first one. So them putting more money in your hands means that they're also going to get more money back in returns. Now, the flip side is it's very difficult, especially for startups. So startups 0 to 3 years or idea stage to be able to get access to the loans. But then on some very special occasions, some startups are able to access grants, and but now this usually works. It's either I know somebody that knows somebody, or my business is really viable and the numbers are really great. Then on such terms, you could get you could get loans rather from banks. The second flip side is that you need a collateral. They won't just give you money. They need something that they would have to keep something down. You would rather have to keep something down that would serve as collateral that will match the amount of money that you are asking for. And then the interest rate can be high. Most of the time, it's double digits, unlike the Bank of Industries that provide single digit interest loans. Now, the third sources of loan are accelerators and incubators. So they are mostly for businesses in the idea and startup stage. They also nurture, aside providing funding, they nurture, mentor, and develop businesses, and also, of course, provide funding for your business. Now, the accelerators and incubators, I love to, in simple terms, are like an oven. When you are baking a cake, you put it in an oven in its raw state, you put it in an oven, and over time, the heat comes and it stays there a while. The heat keeps cooking and cooking and cooking. It comes up and then it's ready, and then you bring it out. That is what, in a layman's term, an accelerator or an incubator is. But just imagine that you're putting in an idea as opposed to putting in cake. You're putting in a raw idea, something that is not refined yet. And they come in with their mentorship, with their business knowledge, and also funding to help you nurture your business, to grow it. The good side is they provide a lot of vital support at an early stage. They do a lot of hand holdings, for business people. They expose you to the right investors and also partners. They are strongly motivated to help you succeed, because your success tells on them, it gives them a positive report as well. And the bad side is that they are selective. For the most part, they want to fund tech and IT startups. But then you would also have to give equity and ownership, because, as you're making money, that they also need to make money for their own organization. So you have, I know that I used to work at Startpreneurs at the time, in 2018, and it was kind of an incubator as well. So they'll provide funding and also business support, but you have to give some sort of equity to the company. So as you're making money back, they are also making money as well. The third part of our conversation today is crowdfunding. And it essentially is a method of raising funds from a large number of people via online or physical means to support a project, a business, a cause, or a personal need. It allows individuals, startups, and organizations to access capital without relying on traditional financial methods like bank loans or venture capital. I'm just going to tell a very short story here about how in in 2020 in 2020, yes, in 2020, when everybody was locked down and in the house. Now, before then, I had gone to a school in Karu. It's called the Government Science Secondary School, Karu, and it's in Nasarawa State. So they had a fleet of about 9 classes that were in a bad condition. And, right there and then I felt, oh, we could turn one of these classrooms into a learning hub, for the students where they go in, learn skills. It could also be a library, learning hub for them to come in and be creative in. I immediately I did pictures. I took pictures, did videos. I went into the class. I just kept walking around with, doing videos. So when COVID hit and everybody was locked down, that's when Clubhouse, the app, it came to life. And the Clubhouse is an app. You just have like different rooms that you go in and, you have conversations with other people. So I got into a room and they were talking education and skill development. So when I got in the room, you stay down and they have to call you up to come on stage to be able to speak. So I went upstage and everybody, introduced themselves and what they are working on, introduce talk. So it got to me and I'm like, okay, I could just talk about this, just see how it goes. And my name is Akumisha Inaji, entrepreneur, blah, blah, blah. I'm a nonprofit. I am currently working on a project to refurbish a classroom in Karuna, Sarawak State, and build a learning hub for the students in the school. I went there last year. I have videos and pictures. I would need X amount of money to do da 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 da. Somebody on the call, somebody I don't know in the US, his name is Dan Roth. He unmutes and goes, "Hey, I would love to work with you on this." And I'm like, okay. To be honest, at the time, I didn't think so much of it. But he goes, he's in my DMs, and after the class, after the session rather, he would want us to speak. I'm like, all right, fantastic. Now, in the process of him, all of us still being in the room, he had gone to research Akumishia Energy, found me on LinkedIn, found me also on Top Link, and that's a thing with the World Economic Forum, read up about me some more, the kind of people I know, searched me out on Instagram, on Facebook to see, the kind of work I do and the kind of conversation. And I jumping on to talk about what to him, and he goes, okay. He started up a GoFundMe link. I think we needed to raise about 4,000 something pounds, approximately 5,000 pounds. That's what we needed. And he took it upon himself to always schedule rooms. Oh, Akumishi, we're going into this room today. Akumishi, I'm going to introduce you to this person. Akumishi, I'm going to introduce you to that person. Akumishi, this woman says she wants to be your mentor. I even met some woman from him called Barbara Anis, who is my Oyibo mentor. And she sent me a computer. She sent me a MacBook. She's in Canada, sent me a MacBook to Nigeria. So just off being in a room and talking about an initiative that was clearly at the idea stage. It wasn't something that I just took pictures thinking, some grand money will fall from some. I didn't know that it was going to be a casual room I would just walk into to have a conversation and, people will rally around and I would raise the funding through one person. I'll be able to raise the funding and also implement the project. It was really interesting. And, that's a way that crowdfunding, that's my story rather as to how crowdfunding, helped me to take an initiative forward for community development. So on the next slide, there are different sources of crowdfunding as well. It could be from your family and friends, because they are a strong part of your social network and are most likely to be the ones to support you when no one else will. Now, on the good side is it's patient capital, control ownership of your business or your initiative or whatever idea it is you have. And they also could provide support and advice. However, you could lose respect and credibility if the business fails. They'll say, "Oh, you that even give money to to start a business, and the business failed." They could do all of that bad mouths, and it can be very annoying. Or they could interfere in the affairs of your business if you do not set boundaries. So tell them, yes, I know you're giving me the money, but I'd respect, allow me to make my decisions myself. If I'm going to fail, allow me to fail so I learn the mistakes and, forge ahead from there as well. So you have to be very intentional about these two flip sides. Another source of crowdfunding could be upfront payment. So that's essentially sales of service. So in this case, you ask for a portion of the sale upfront even before you deliver. So say for instance, you are looking to start up a business, right? Or you're looking to raise some sort of funding for yourself, and you don't necessarily own a thing, but you have a guy or you have a friend that has, let's say for instance, solar panels. You know a man that needs solar panels in his house, and then you have a friend that sells solar panels. You go to your friend that sells solar panels and say, "Look, okay, I need to raise X amount of money. Your solar panels go for how much? This is the amount. Okay, on each solar panel, you add 1,000 naira, and those 1,000 nairas, aside the commission that you give to me, is going to come back to me." And then you go back to your friend that needs the solar panels to say, "Hey, I think you should solar power your house for XYZ. Fuel is now 900 and something or 800 and something naira. Da, 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 da." You're selling the idea to him, and then he's bringing this. Now you tell him, "Oh, you have to pay X amount of money upfront before they bring it and come and install." Now, because you have a pressing need for money, once the payment is made, your friend could cut out your amount of money, give to you. So if you want to channel it into a business or an initiative that is time, you need time for it, then you can just channel it into that. So they work for customized products or services like software development, consultancy, construction, and the like. Now the good part, it is easy and a fast way to make quick funds. You just need to be the plug on both sides, bring from here and bring from here and put the money together. It allows the company to grow organically while you maintain full ownership and control. So that could be a means for you to keep on raising funding to put into your business, and it will work over time, and you regain full ownership and control of your business. Now, it helps you to reduce the risk of tying down funds on inventory. So having to keep things where you are, you're just the plug that brings, you're just the one that facilitates the transaction, and all you keep getting is so you don't need a physical space to, stock up all of these things. The bad side is that it's only a good option for raising working capital. There is a limit to the kind of money that you can make from, being the plug, so to say. I'd say the amount of capital again is limited, and not all type of businesses can raise funding using this option. But if you're at the idea stage or the startup, or you just need to, raise some small money to do one or two things, this could work as well. Now, there are other sources of funding. Next slide, please. There are other sources of fundings that did not, the three major umbrellas did not cover. Bootstrapping. Bootstrapping is a case where, as an individual, you go and you work and you get paid, and then the money you get paid, you put it into the business. So it's like having a full-time job and saying, "Oh, at the end of the month, I get paid X amount of money, and from that X amount, I'm going to cut this amount to put it back into my business." So that's how bootstrapping works. It's literally putting your boots on the ground to do the work, and then you save for your business from there. Or partnerships. You could have the idea and know someone, just as I said the other time, someone that has the money, or some people that have the money, and you reach out to them and say, "Look, this is what I want to start. You have the money, I have the idea, I have the time, you also have the people that we can use to push this product or service. Let's come together and start. That is you forming a partnership, and then it will give you access to, the money of which is something that you don't have. Angel investors are private people that provide huge sums of money, mostly for matured businesses to help them scale, to grow or scale their businesses. And for that, I think there's the Angels Network. I think it's owned by a Nigerian Mr. Tommy D. He's a CEO there. Angels Network. There are a few others as well that serve as angel investors. There are venture capitals as well. You raise funding from them, but they mostly fund tech startups as well. And then there's private equity where they only invest in matured businesses also. So these three, except for partnership, these five are except for partnerships and bootstrapping, they provide funding mostly for some venture capitals as well. They provide funding for matured businesses, or they provide funding for idea or startup stages, while angel investors, private equity provide for businesses that have been here for a while and are looking to grow or scale themselves. Now, you need to ask yourself, next slide please. Are you the right fit for the funding you are seeking? So you're not just going up and down the place and looking for money. You need to know if you fit perfectly into what they are looking for. So you ask yourself, what is the core motivation of for funding? The people who are giving the money, rather. What is their core motivation for funding the business? I know some people want to fund initiatives for the sake of you having their name or having their picture somewhere on a billboard, or even printing their faces on a shirt to say, oh, this is the man that did this for us, or this is the man that did that for us. Some people want you to put out their organization and paint their face to be the most fantastic people on the face of the earth. So you need to be intentional about asking these questions. You're not just getting funding. Ask the person, what do you want in return? Do you want some sort of gratification, or are you looking to make money back? Or do you want more publicity for your business? Clearly have those conversations so you understand what their motivation is for funding your business. What are their core motivations for investing? Why do they invest? This can be found mostly in the mission statement or about us. This is in the case where you're going to the website, to go read up about them, and you want to ask them to provide money for an initiative, that you're trying to run. That will help you tailor your request to also serve, or to also make them see the importance of giving you this funding. You need to also know, what type of businesses do they fund? I'm sorry for the typos. What type of businesses do they fund? Are they interested in a specific stage or in all business stages? Are they focused on any specific industries, or are they open to funding for all industries? What are the requirements you must meet before getting access to the funds? What are the specifics? What are the specific things that they are looking for in a business? How do they accept applications online, physically? Do they have a funding limit? Can you ask for $1 million? Can you ask for $10 million, or $100 million, or an infinite amount of money? Or is it just $500,000 and you're going to ask for $1 million? You want to know these things clearly before you proceed to seeking funding. Now, based on the conversation we've had, I highlighted for all the 4 stages of businesses, the type of funding that would work for it. So for the idea or pre-startup stage, you have bootstrapping, friends and family, partnerships, angel investors, incubators, business plan competitions, crowdfunding, charity and foundations, upfront payments, government programs, and private placements. For the startup stages, bootstrapping, angel investors, friends and family, partnerships, accelerators and incubators, crowdfunding, business plan competitions, charities, foundations, government programs, upfront payments, development funds, venture capital, private placements. For the growth stage businesses, funding that works ideally for them are partnerships, venture capitals, angel investors, upfront payments, private equity, development funds, government programs, banks, private placements, and also crowdfunding. For matured stage, it's mostly banks, equity, and development funds. Thank you all so much for listening to me. Now I'll open up the floor to questions, so we can pick up from there.
All right. Thank you kindly, Akumishi. Thank you so much. I think I've gotten more than I thought that I would. And this is me building up from some other sessions I had. And this money matter, you need to keep building up on it because it's important to have a
Yeah.
good hold on your money. So thank you for
Mhm.
sharing those nuggets. You've gone through what crowdfunding, grants, loans really are, where we can get them, what we can get them for, and how to really prepare ourselves to getting them. So I took notes. I kept taking some notes, and thank God I have this slide so I can just go back to it.
Yeah.
All right. So if you have any questions, like I said earlier, this is the time for you to ask. You can drop them in the chat or just use the raising hand emoji, and I would just call you. Any questions? Anyone? Rafiat, you have your audio turned on. Do you have a question?
Yes, I have a question.
Awesome. Please go ahead with your question.
All right, good afternoon. Yeah, well, thank you,
Good
Ma, for the knowledge you've given us so far. So I was a bit lost on the crowdfunding. Please, I would like to know, how do we access it? Is there any platform or where we can access the crowdfunding? If there is none, how do we access it? Thank you.
Yes, actually, in Nigeria, let me just check real quick. I know that there's a crowdfunding platform in Nigeria. Yeah, there's Kickstarter for Nigeria, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, GoFundMe, Crowdcube, that you can use. So how this works essentially is you put up a cause, you share the link with people to donate into an account. That is in literal terms how you can raise money, or you could have a cause out there, essentially a flyer, put the flyer out, put the account number on it, and then people pay money into the. But for the most part, for the sake of transparency and also accountability, say when I raised funding, right, for the project that I did, he used GoFundMe to set up the link. I sent him the pictures of the school, the state it was in, and also video links to the classrooms as well. So he used that as the case to make people click links or also view the picture to see where their money was going to go into. So, people need $10, $5, £10, £5, £20. The highest I got in donation was £2,000 from one person, which covered the whole amount. So for this, what you need to have first is a properly guided and properly written project or initiative. And then when you put it out there, target the people that would listen to or provide funding. So Tunde Onakoya. His initiative is chess in slums. But then he's also able to, say, oh, we need to implement this project in different places. We need chess boards. We need to sew clothes for the people. We need food for them. We need to put them in hostels. We need to do a lot of things for them. We're looking to raise X amount of money to implement this project, this same project in Nasarawa State. Here is the link if you want to support our cause. So you see, because first off, he has track record of the work he has done. He's able to put it out for people to raise funding for him. Now, in my case, that was the first time I was raising funds. However, the person that decided to help me went online to do a full research on me. Went on my Instagram, went on my Facebook, went on my LinkedIn, went to see the kind of conversations I have. He went as much as checking comments that I post. Facebook kind of pops up, even for LinkedIn as well. Went as long as doing all of, so that he's not helping out a crazy person that, would take all the money and run away and not do what she said she wanted to do. But then he was able to establish some sort of credibility to say, okay, this person would actually use the money, because if she doesn't, she also has a lot at stake. I can decide to drag her out and, tag the World Economic Forum or tag the Global Shapers Community and say, oh, hey, one of your members, did this. And I wouldn't want that embarrassment for myself. So it's a lot of elements that come into crowdfunding. Aside that, well, except if you're raising money from your family or friends or people in your immediate circle, if you're looking to go big for initiatives, you need to, as a person, have a very, very good standing. You can now go ahead and put out this initiative for people, for a crowd to come and put funding into. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you too. Okay, does anyone else have a question?
Awesome. Thank you. Do you have any other questions?
Okay,
so
or if
I
there are
hear
no
that there's,
questions,
yeah.
I was just saying,
Carry
just
on,
let
please,
us know, put
Akumishi.
a thumbs up in the chat. They could put it like a thumbs up in the chat box, or yes, I
Yeah.
get it, or something in the chat box to say, yes, I understand everything you've said, or most of the things you've said.
Okay, please. Okay, if you have no questions, just to be sure that you were not lost, or you just MTN didn't happen to you as well, that you followed through and understood. Just, yes, thumbs up. Thumbs up, I understand. Or I just sorry gift. Sorry, you see. So maybe that's one of the things that happen to some people. Let's see, thumbs up in the chat. I understand. So we know that for people who were able to join early, who MTN didn't happen to, cut some important nuggets there. Okay, Oyinka has the answer of the emoji raised. Oyinka, please unmute and
Yes.
yes.
Good morning. No, good afternoon. Thank you very much for the presentation.
Good afternoon.
Maybe I don't know whether it's more of a question or more of trying to seek advice. So we run a book club called Tolulope Book Club, and one of our weak points is our ability to collaborate, our ability to get out there. I don't know whether you have any advice or pointers on how we could strengthen our ability to network, right? We are good at what we do, but we're very weak at collaborating with others in this space. Probably for fear of rejection or something. So I don't know, any advice or pointers would be welcome.
So you said you run a club?
Yes,
Is that what you
a
said?
book club. A book club called Tolulope Book Club.
Okay, it's for who are the target audience? Who are the members of the club, age range and all that?
Great. So we work with children ages 6 to 17, and we're based in Ibadan.
Okay. Is it like general, you help them out with schoolwork or mostly self-help books? What kind of books do you read?
So our goal is we have 4 core objectives. One is to enhance reading for knowledge. I mean, the idea is to make to work with that age, that population to love to read, not reading for fun, but reading. I mean, reading for fun, but yes, you get knowledge from what you read, and things,
Yeah.
simple things like learning to work together, learning to um, be patient, tolerant with others, through what you've read. Almost like football,
Mm-hmm.
right? You would, in a team, everybody needs to work together that kind of thing. Then we also try to use reading
Yeah.
to enhance analytical skills. Why did the author do this? Why did the author write the story? That kind of thing. Um, to also promote language and culture, and as well to enhance diversity, right? And social inclusion. So those
Mm-hmm.
are our 4 core objectives. And so we work with kids from public schools. We've set up a small library because you're trying to encourage people to read. There has to be a place where they could get books. And so that was what actually got us interested in the Innocent Chukwuma Memorial Library, and trying to see where we can encourage people to make use of libraries. We know that there are not enough libraries in Nigeria, but the little that
Yeah.
we have needs to be used, right? And so direct people on how to even access a library, those kind of things that people in the Western world take for granted, trying to
Mm-hmm.
work with kids in Nigeria to access that. So the idea is, how do we um, how do we strengthen our network? How do we come out there to say, okay, say for instance, okay, now we know Innocent Chukuma Foundation Library. How can we engage with them? How can we engage with others in that space? Building I mean, because we could learn from them. I mean, they are more established, that kind of thing. It's, yeah. So just some
Mm-hmm.
pointers would
Mm-hmm.
be most helpful.
Well, two things. I would say first off, you have a message in the chat box. Someone said to reach out, so she'll send you PDF. I think you have a message in the chat box. First off, and then two things I would say. Number one, seek partnerships. I'm glad that you're having the conversation about the Innocent Chukuma Foundation. So yeah, you can reach out to them. This is what we do. This is how we do it, and this is why we do it. And we're looking to scale, or we're looking to do this, and we need partners to be able to do it. We've seen that you've been able to do da 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 da, or the book reading thing you do, and you bring celebrities in to read with students. We want to have that feel in Ibadan. We will provide this, and we need you to come in with your expertise to help implement that. That's the first. You could decide to, go a bit further and look for other organizations that are one of their values, or one of the things that they provide is education for all, or even literacy, and write to them to tell them about your project, tell them about what you do, and tell them you are seeking partnerships to do XYZ. The second thing, and to be honest, I don't think you should be scared of being turned down. If I was scared of being turned down, I wouldn't even bring it up in the room, in the clubhouse room. The initiative that was a very raw idea that I had, I wouldn't bring it up there. But I love to see I love to view failure rather as taking out another peg that wouldn't work in the grand scheme of things. So for each time I fail at something, I don't call it failure. I'm actually very excited. I'm one of those really weird people that is very excited when she fails. If anything happens and it goes sour, it's like, oh, okay, thank you, Jesus, that I've taken this part out. It means this is not going to work. I kick it to the side and I work with every other thing that is in the box. So, say for instance, I spoke in that clubhouse room and I didn't get anybody that was going to help me. I wasn't going to stop. I was going to keep talking about it. I was going to go on LinkedIn, talk about it. Any opportunity I meet people that I could have I was going to keep doing it till I raised the funds to build that classroom. Now, to be honest, that's where my mind was. It was just a conversation that just happened out of the blues, and see how that turned out, right? So I don't think you should be scared of being rejected. I don't think you should be scared of being turned down. Look, people that want to work with you will work with you. Those that don't want to work with you will not work with you. And at the end of the day, it's fine. It is so fine. It's not even a problem. If this doesn't work with, this person, then it means, well, that's what it is. On to the next one. That's where my mind is when it comes to, networking and partnership. And for the most part, I walk into rooms, especially when it comes to networking, because I know a friend asked me a while ago. She goes, "How am I so confident speaking with people?" I'm like, look, it's one of two things. If I approach you and I want to talk with you, network with you, it's either you say yes or you say no. If you say yes, fantastic. We will have the swell time. We'll have such a swell time. And if you say no, it's fine still. I will move on, to another person. So the goal is what you should always have in mind. The end goal, what the impact that whatever it is you're doing is going to give to the people. That is what should literally cover your that is happening around. People saying no, if anything, it will come. Go that mind chatter and just keep going. And I am rooting for you and I wish you all the best. Maybe you should connect with me. I am also currently working on a set of learning products. I'm now trying to dive into education psychology, on the premise that people need to not just read or not just experience life, but be able to understand the environment and take on lessons from their everyday lives. They should be able to, before they go to bed, ask themselves questions about how their day went and what they can do to make it better. So yeah, maybe we should connect, and I'm happy to jump in as well and provide some support as much as I can. Thank you. Hope this makes sense.
Yes, it has. Thank you. And we'll certainly connect. Thank you very much.
Okay, I see a message.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, please confirm. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, a couple of people did say that they completely understand. Yes, I can hear you. Hello? Hello? Can I be heard? Am I being heard?
Yes, we can
Yes,
hear
I can
you
hear
though.
you.
Awesome. Says Akumishi. Okay, Letitia, you have your hands raised, but I'm sure it's a question to Akumishi, and she doesn't seem to be on the call right now.
No, that's fine. I'll type it, and then if she does come online, then she can just answer my question.
Okay, yes, please go ahead. And okay, so we have a couple of people hands raised. Let me just be sure that she's back in the room. Akumishi. Akumishi. While we wait, I see Ibuka also asked a question. So if you're happy to run now, we can just read that. That would be great. She's completely off the call now. Oh, she's still on. Akumishi. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me? Just to confirm.
Yes, yes, I can hear you. So we have a question while you were off. I know she already told I think that's Tolua, no, Oyikan, that it could reach out. So yes, I'm sure that's a yes. I'm saying that as a yes on Akumishi's behalf, but I'll just wait for her to respond. Okay, so this network just waited till the last moment to prove itself. But yes, we're not going to have that. Does anyone else have a question as we begin to wrap up? Except that we would only be spending about one hour, but now we are pressed for time. Thank you to everyone. And just like I said, Letitia would ensure that you're connected if you intend to reach out to her. Okay, so thank you again, everyone. Yeah, she's not here to respond to that question. Salaha, you were here with us on camera for so long. You didn't ask a question till network kicked her out. Okay, so she's unable to come, but I'm going to save these questions and I would try my best to get you a response since you're the one that asked. Hopefully, if everyone else asks the same question, when I'm sending the feedback, I would just offer a response to that on her behalf. So thank you again. And in Akumishi's absence, I'd like to say thank you so much, Akumishi, for shoving out time to be here today to share this nuggets with us. It's truly appreciated and it comes in very handy. And what I hear is that you can pretty much get funding for anything, any passion project, whether it's from dog loving. My sincere apologies. There's a way you empathize with people over their network that it somehow comes to haunt you as well. And I think that's what has happened to me. But I'm glad that we were just wrapping up. So thank you so much for your time. And I've dropped a link in the chat channel for you to just share your feedback with us. It would help us to improve the quality, or if there's something else that you would love for us to speak about, we have experienced mentors who would come at different points throughout the year to just take us on interesting and useful topics. Thank you once again, and please have a fantastic day. All right. So Sahlaha, like I said, I have taken notes of your questions. Did I pronounce your name correctly? Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. I can hear you. Please carry on.
Because some of us that the network has been sending us in and out.
Oh,
Thank you.
sorry. I'm sorry. Everyone got a taste of that, including me. So, but there's a recording, so I'll do well to share that with everyone.
So
So
how do
if
we
you got,
get
pardon, take that again. Oluwafunmilayo.
go away?
Is there a way to get the recording? Yes, please.
Think
I
that I've
would
been
send
taught
you.
on this session. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, okay. And ensure that we send recording to everyone who registered. So that's fine. That's covered. Okay, thank you again. See you all next time.